Thank you.
Hey, John, you know what day it is, don't you?
Oh, you think I could ever forget?
I've been waiting for this moment for months.
Well, it's finally here. It's CBS correspondent Jose Diaz-Balart's birthday. Hooray! Yeah! All right!
Wait. I don't get it. What? Who cares?
Who cares? It's Jose Diaz-Balart's birthday.
Yeah!
Let the celebration begin! Woo-hoo! Yeah! All right!
You can buy your own hairy chest.
He can put both his fists in his mouth.
You're putting Floby out of business.
Oh, yes, sirree! Oh, boy. My therapist says hosting Talk Soup has made me hostile and aggressive. I say, screw him! You're watching the Talk Soup Weekly Wrap-Up. I'm John Henson. Well, folks, today the world is celebrating CBS This Morning correspondent Jose Diaz-Balart's birthday. That's right. Yeah, let it hang out, huh? For more on the festivities, let's go to our reporter Ted Bickford, standing by in Washington, D.C. Ted?
John, the excitement here is palpable. Of course, all federal and local employees have been given the day off to celebrate, and the president is scheduled to give a speech at the tomb of the unknown Ballart. Later tonight, Disney Imagineers have planned a parade with a fantastic light show and fireworks. This looks to be the grandest Jose Diaz-Balart birthday of them all.
Well, thank you, Ted. Sounds exciting. We'll have more coverage on this epic event later in the program. But first, a pregnant woman goes into labor on the Jerry Springer Show. Learn the erotic pleasures of pie throwing. Fatherhood comes to a proud transsexual. Plus, MTV presents Pug Dog Unplugged. Well, either she's really talented or she's in heat. You be the judge. First up, Gary is about to get a sneak peek at his unborn child. His girlfriend Jackie and her mother Sharon have dropped by Jerry Springer's set bearing an ultrasound picture of the little nipper. Together, all three guests will celebrate the miracle of conception the best way they know how, by brawling like rabid polecats. You see, Gary recently left Jackie for Stephanie, one of Jackie's former friends, no less. Now he claims the child may not be his. Jackie's mother? Well, let's just say she disagrees.
You're Sharon.
Music means it's time to play What Happens Next? Today's choices are A, she hits him, B, he hits her, or 3, who cares? Bring on the carnage. What's it gonna be, guys? What do you think? Huh? All right, let's roll the tape and find out.
Do you remember asking Jackie if I would have a sleep? You guys?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
With your
Yeah, well, let's be entertained.
Excellent. It was A, B, and 3. It's a threefer. What more can you ask for? Right off the top of the show. Monday on Jerry, wives-to-be treat themselves to some wild bachelorette parties. Tune in for the drinking, the bonding, and all those beefy male dancers. Yeah, I think you know what beefy means. 9-year-old Joey Pritchard is an unusual kid with an unusual hobby, which makes him perfect for Talk Soup. Here he is telling Jay Leno about the consuming passion that sets him apart from the other kids his age. He doesn't collect baseball cards or coins. Nay, this unconventional youngster hoards toe jam.
How does it stay together in a ball like that?
I think it's like from the sweat from between.
I see. Now, are there certain kinds of, this is just yours, by the way, right?
This is partly mine and partly my mom's. The color part.
Should we take it out of the jar?
Sure. Go ahead.
Why don't you take it out?
Okay. She's in 9.
So this is also your mom. So your mom is a collector also?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Now, well, let me, and it smells delightful. You can put it back in. Now, the senator has a, now you have a chance of a piece of history there. You can get some of Bob Dole toe jam.
Is there anything in that sock?
Can you show us how you harvest it? What do? You put your hand inside the sock? You put your hand, you turn the sock inside out?
Not exactly. I just go scavenger hunting between the toes.
A toe jam collector. Well, sure, that's a cool hobby now, but he better ditch that in a few years, or he's gonna turn into one of those weird Dungeons and Dragons kids. You know what I'm talking about. Hanging out in the basement with his friends going, I am a warlock with magical Bob Dole toe jam. Ooh. Monday on The Tonight Show, Jay's guest will be bug splat expert Mark Hostetler. He'll discuss how he creates that dead bug on the windshield effect for movies and TV. Meet the Sultan of Splat, Monday on Tonight. Up-and-coming actress Mia Kirshner is on the verge of stardom. She currently appears with heavyweights John Travolta and Dustin Hoffman in the drama Mad City. Like many Oscar-winning actresses that have come before her, Mia began her career telling lewd stories in an elementary school girls' room. Here she is discussing those kinky, carefree days on The Conan Show.
I would huddle in the girls' washroom, all of my friends. And at that time, I had just discovered Playgirl magazine. I was about 10 years old. And I used to memorize the stories. And
Girls really look at Playgirl? I mean, I know that guys look at Playboy.
Oh, yeah, you better believe it.
Really?
Totally. And I used to tell these erotic stories at 10 in the washroom. Little did I know, the vent, for some reason, the vent to the girls' washroom is connected to, like, the principal's office. So I'm like...
Why is that? I mean...
Some pervert designed the school.
What's going on there?
I agree.
I don't suppose the principal was in on the design of the building.
You never
Well,
know.
Mr. Principal, we're just about set to... one thing! See to it that all the vents from the bathrooms lead directly to my office. But, sir, there's no need to just do it!
Along with being a hot new actress, Mia Kirshner is also a proud Canadian. And speaking of Canada, let's go to our reporter Ted Bickford in the Yukon for all the Diaz-Balart birthday festivities there. Ted?
Yes, John?
So what are they doing to celebrate Jose Diaz-Balart's birthday in Canada?
Nothing. It's Canada.
Oh. Canadians. Monday on Late Night, Conan gets chummy with actor Charles Dutton. He'll be on to promote his movie Mimic, which soon will be available at your local video store. 35 years ago this fall, Timmy Jean Lindsay took 2 small steps for woman and 2 giant leaps for womankind. You see, this Lisa guest is the world's first artificial breast implantee. Well, I think she deserves a medal, but who wants to block the view? Perhaps the best way to honor Timmy Jean is to let her speak for herself.
But you didn't even go to the doctor with the idea of pumping up your breast in mind.
No, I went because I had tattoos. In fact, when I was that age, if you had a tattoo, you were a fallen woman. So, you know.
No, I can't see you, Timmy Jean, with like tattoos on your breast. It's just the visual that's hard to get back to. But you wanted to take them off.
Yes. I wanted to have them removed, and it was not an easy procedure. I mean, no one had ever done it before.
You were the first tattoo removal person, too? So while you were there, did the doctor just say, oh, by the way, you know, can I increase your cup size?
Well, no, but, you know, probably about like that. So they said we're doing a study and we were looking for women to, you know, put breast implant, enlarge your breast. Would I like to have it? And I said, oh, I guess so. But the main thing I wanted out of them was to get my ears pinned back because I had big ears.
Timmy Jean may have been the first woman to undergo that particular procedure, but breast implants have been around for years. Just look at this early prototype designed by Henry Ford. Yeah, it's a little boxy, but they got the job done, and let me tell you, those babies were built to last. Don't build them like that anymore. Yeah. Monday on Lisa, meet the lawyers who defend notorious criminals. They'll reveal how they sleep at night after getting the no-good-nicks off with a slap on the wrist. Yeah. Well, it's time for our first commercial break, but you can't leave now. Not with our clip of the week coming up later in the show. Also on the way, he's part Chihuahua, part pug, and all talent. Check out a crooning canine. But first, learn how to simulate the sounds of murder and mayhem.
And for instance, in the movie like Die Hard, when Bruce Willis is getting beaten up, you know, and they would punch him in the rib cage,
right.
We would do like...
She grew up in the spotlight.
She was a professional actress at 9, 10 years old.
And by the age of 12, her talent and ambition led her from small screen to big screen success.
She knew exactly what she wanted at a very early age.
But Jodie Foster's private life has been just as dramatic as her award-winning film roles.
It takes a very brave person to be an actor.
Now, meet one of Hollywood's most powerful women, Jodie Foster's Celebrity Profile, Sunday at 9 Eastern and Pacific, only on E!
Probably the happiest time.
Face joy.
First time I fell in love. I felt
Face love.
weightless.
Yeah. Face the unexpected.
Face ecstasy.
Face the day with Nivea Visage. Its nourishing moisture makes you look radiant. Nivea brings your face to life.
Okay, it's time. Time to give you credit for knowing a good thing when you see it. Just use your Sears card now through Saturday at the Sears card sale, and we'll take 10% off everything you buy. 10% off everything you say? Yes. Even 10% off the sale prices, including all electronics, appliances, hardware, apparel, the whole store, really. So go on. Get 10% off at the Sears card sale and take full credit for being the savvy shopper you are.
What do a car, a tree, and an elephant have in common? Trunks. It's Tribond, the hilarious new game that asks you to find the common bond among 3 things. It's fast-paced fun times 3. Tribond, and Tribond for kids.
Don't work too late. Tommy's better, so forget the drugstore.
Take your favorite show.
So come straight home. We miss you. Love, Jack.
Motorola pagers. To know, now. Motorola, what you never thought possible.
Wines this good must be guarded with care. That's why Franzia comes to you in an airtight pouch that protects the fresh taste to the very last glass. Maybe that's why it's America's best-selling wine.
The biggest challenge that I faced that I was really afraid to do. Face challenge.
Getting up every morning.
Face adventure. Face challenge. Face the inevitable.
Face the day with Nivea Visage. Its nourishing moisture makes you look radiant. Nivea brings your face to life.
Promising you the world and bringing you a guy with fake spoons floating behind him. This is Talk Soup. I'm John Henson. Ellen Huer is a Foley artist. She makes 10 times more than the Talk Soup staff combined for doing things like rattling ice cubes in a glass and rolling bowling balls down a staircase. She's also won several Academy Awards for her work, whereas we were shut out at this year's Cable Ace Awards. Let's meet this talented and lucky crook and chase guest.
This is something that we use when people are being beaten up or stabbed. This is not an effect you're going to find in the library for somebody to get stabbed.
What is this? What kind of cloth is it? Just a
regular... This is a wet chamois.
A wet chamois, okay.
And for instance, in the movie like Die Hard, when Bruce Willis is getting beaten up, you know, and they would punch him in the rib cage,
right.
We would do like...
Imagine that going on.
I just broke Bruce Willis's ribs.
You were doing that for the movie. Man, that's incredible.
Yeah,
okay.
that's amazing.
All right.
Okay.
It's almost sickening,
You know,
really, when you hear that sound.
Yeah, people getting stabbed or...
Did you hear that? Listen again.
It's like a knife going into flesh.
Oh, man.
So what they do is they run the movie for you, and you're watching a screen,
right?
And you make the sound effects on cue,
right?
Besides working on feature films, Foley artist Ellen Huer is also providing sound effects for a new cooking show on the Nashville network. Here's a clip of Ellen demonstrating how she duplicates the sound of a knife chopping lettuce.
find yourself a kitchen knife, but oh, be careful, because these things can be really sharp. And when you're ready, go ahead and chop the cabbage.
Oh, wow, what a coincidence. The sound of someone getting stabbed in the head is almost exactly like that of somebody chopping lettuce. Well, I think I've learned a valuable lesson about Foley. Tuesday, Crook and Chase try to figure out the enigma that is David Duchovny. He'll discuss all the twists and turns on this season of X-Files. That show gives me the willies. Yeah. He's Michael J. Fox, darn it all. That alone makes this Daily Show highlight worth checking out. Here's Canada's most diminutive superstar busting Craig Kilborn's chops and discussing the cast of loonies featured on his hit sitcom Spin City. He'll also be providing some rare insights into his personal life by describing an event that may have scarred his daughter for life.
You guys have made me feel so great here. I get in, I get this dressing room. It's a really nice dressing room. I think, wow, Daily Show, nice dressing room, and it's, you know, there's all stuffed animals and stuff. And then I literally found this curled up in the corner. Craig gave me his room.
Isn't it?
So nice. And I love, who etched in here? Co-creator.
A little friend of mine did that, yeah.
Co-creator. Well, thank you for that. It was a lovely
Well, thanks. Are you going to return that? What else did you take from the...
No, I get the little stuffed doll, the little doggy.
Thanks for doing the show. We had to go through so many Spin City co-stars to get to you. And they're all good. Richard Kind was...
the writing staff.
Right. Yeah. Richard Kind was a little trouble.
He's insane.
But everyone else was great.
He's insane. He can put both his fists in his mouth. Which is
and
really
you know what?
disturbing.
I could see that.
That made my daughter cry. I said, you know, show her that you can do that thing. And he goes like this, and she's looking. And I said, he does this funny trick. And he went, and she went,
Oh, sure, that trick sounds impressive, but if you knew Richard Kind like I do, you'd understand why it's no big deal at all. Yeah, see? Take a look at that. Hell, I could fit 5 or 6 of those hands in my mouth, for God's sake. Tuesday on The Daily Show, Craig promises to interview another celebrity. Not Jose Diaz-Balart, but someone almost as good. Stick around, we got lots more laughing and scratching still to do. Later, I'll be reading your viewer mail, provided I can make out your gibberish. Plus, a woman welcomes her future sister-in-law into the family with a sucker punch. But first, was that the Springer Show or an episode of ER?
We're having contractions right now. What?
I'm okay.
Are you okay?
It's just tiny because I'm getting mad. No, I don't want to stop this.
Well, you're not going to have a baby, you're okay.
Ah, for the French, food is a joy to be shared by all the senses. The grand finale being the taste. It is c'est si bon, yople. It is so good.
With Clairol's new Herbal Essences body wash, you'll use any excuse to take a shower. The natural herbs and botanicals in pure mountain water. The moisturizing lather, the silky smooth skin. Never has getting clean been this much fun. New Herbal Essences body wash. Drop everything and get it.
I don't know. I just feel like something's missing.
Now, all fine jewelry is 40 to 50% off at Sears. And during the 72-hour jewelry sale, we'll take an extra 10% off.
There's definitely a void. Right about here.
Emergency numbers on the fridge, kids in bed by 8. Oh yeah. See, my boyfriend and his band, they're kind of looking for a place to practice tonight, so I just kind of told them that they could come here. But don't worry, because if it's anything like last week, your kids will love it.
That's refreshing honesty, just like Ocean Spray's refill. The bold, honest taste of cranberries in an easy-to-use concentrate. Ocean Spray, it's refreshingly honest.
See how kids climb to the top of the Hollywood ladder and what it takes to stay there. This Sunday, beginning at 7 Eastern and Pacific, only on E!
It's happening everywhere.
Sure, you can count on Patco when the weather's bad, but you know, we're on time for all the times you need to get somewhere. Got a can't-miss business appointment? No one keeps to a schedule like Patco. Going out for dinner? We've always got another one coming right up. Looking for great performance? Take Patco. Take us out to the ball game. Take us back in time. Take us to market, or Locust for that matter. Because wherever you're going, no one keeps you on track like Patco.
serious business, and that means serious fun. Allen Iverson, he schooled him. It's an air drill, Stackhouse slams it home. Are you kidding me? And when it comes to fun, we mean business. Sunday, November 9th, it's Gary Payton and the Seattle Supersonics. Plus, the first 5,000 fans receive a free magnetic grease board, compliments of Gatorade. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.
Welcome back. Time now to check in with our correspondent, Ted Bickford in Moscow. Ted?
The crowds have begun to gather here outside the Kremlin, John. They've closed the streets and security has doubled, so we don't expect any trouble. Unlike last year when hundreds of Muscovites were injured in the wild celebration here in Red Square.
My goodness. Well, how are the Russians celebrating Jose Diaz-Balart's birthday this year?
As you might expect, they're drinking gallons of vodka. They really don't need much of an excuse out here, John.
Right, no kidding. I saw that movie Reds, and it looked pretty depressing. Well, happy Jose Diaz-Balart birthday to you, Ted.
And a happy Jose Diaz-Balart birthday to you, too, John.
Plowing ahead. Nancy is 9 months pregnant. So what is she doing on the Jerry Springer Show? Hello, Dr. Talk is just a nickname. Before the show, Nancy started going to get tractions. But the fact is, she was just dying to confront her cheating boyfriend, Vercel, and the woman he's been keeping on the side. Let's just hope she makes it through this highlight without becoming a mom.
I was with her. She got pregnant, but I don't know if that's my baby or not. So
You know this is your baby.
I started messing around with Tara.
Did you say she can't leave?
Which one?
Nancy.
They both can't leave.
Oh, I can leave, okay? I left 2 months ago, and you're the one that called me back to come home.
You'll leave for a minute, but you'll be back.
Yeah.
But the fun and games didn't stop there. Later, Nancy nearly became a mom on camera.
You're a slut. You can't, because I live with him. That's why I came up. I'm the one that called and wanted him to make... beat your ass. Yeah. Making me lose my baby and cracking your brain. Well, where's the proof? Because if I was pregnant and you made me lose my baby, I would bring the proof to this show. But you didn't bring nothing because your Tuesday time.
Okay. Calm down. Calm down. We don't want a baby right now.
Oh, I'm okay.
You're okay, but I'm not. I'm a little nervous.
But I'm okay.
You're having contractions right now. What?
I'm okay.
Are you okay?
It's just tiny because I'm getting mad. No, I don't want to stop this.
Well, you're not going to have a baby here, okay? That's not a real good idea.
Because I know he's going to be with me in the hospital. I know.
Are you going to be with her in the hospital?
I'm going to be with both of them.
He asked me to be there. She's in the hospital with me.
Hey, Vercel, Sitting Bull called. He wants the hair back. Tuesday, Jerry tries to bring a little variety to his show by having past guests do battle. Former panelist Corey will confront Reno, a woman who posed as a man. Wow, bet there'll be a fight. Excellent. Josh and his girlfriend Julie broke up after she got pregnant. But instead of skipping town, Josh actually wants an active role in his child's life. He says he's sensitive to the situation because he grew up without a father and doesn't want his son to go through the same experience. Problem is, Julie wants to give the kid up for adoption. Let's see if Montel can convince her to reconsider.
Do you have any idea in your heart of hearts what it would be like, let's say, when you're 21 years old? You're 21, right? Yes. When you're 21 years, now I'm sorry, it'll be 21 years from now, so you will be 40 years old, to have somebody call you on the phone and say, hi, this is the Montel Williams Show. Is this Julie? Yeah. Julie, we want you to come to Montel Williams Show. Somebody wants to meet you. And then you walk out on this stage, and there is a 19, 21-year-old child sitting here, and this is this child. What will you say to that child?
Tell them that I tried to do the best thing that I could for it.
Really? You would? Okay. Well, Josh, you know what? I thought it very important that Julie gets to see firsthand what it's like to look at a child who sees their parent for the first time. Look at Josh for a minute. Please welcome Josh's father, Joseph, to the show.
Up until 3 days before the taping, Josh's father didn't even know he had a son. Unfortunately, Josh is now suing his dad for over $10,000 in back allowance.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah, that's harsh. Tuesday on Montel, guests talk about their obsessive ex-lovers. One guy says he hides from his former flame because he's afraid of what she might do next. Fortunately, she doesn't know he hosts a cable show on E! Entertainment Television, so she can't. Never mind. The fun's just begun, and there's plenty more to come. In a little while, we'll meet a woman who was impregnated by her transsexual boyfriend. Plus, a guy gets aroused by throwing pies, and no, it's not Soupy Sales. But first, Ode to a Fire Hydrant.